Most people picture Romania and immediately see Orthodox churches, fairy tale castles, and the Carpathian Mountains. That's fair. But right along the Black Sea coast, there's a completely different story that almost nobody talks about. It's the story of Islam in Romania, a faith that has been part of this land for more than 700 years. It arrived through migrations, empires, trade routes, and quiet settlements. It survived the collapse of empires, the heavy hand of communism, and decades of being ignored. And today, in a country that is still proudly Orthodox, a small Muslim community keeps its identity alive with remarkable strength. Assalamu alaykum. Welcome back to Islam's Light. If this story moves you, hit subscribe and stay with me till the end. Romania's Muslim population is small, but its story is anything but. The latest census figures show around 76,215 Muslims, just 0.4% of the country. Most live in northern Dobruja, especially in Constanța and Tulcea counties, with smaller groups in Bucharest and a few other cities. The community includes Turks, Tatars, Muslim Roma, Albanians, Romanian converts, and immigrants from the Middle East. These aren't just numbers. Every single one stands for a family, a mosque, a prayer, and a legacy that refused to die. Islam didn't arrive in Romania with one big dramatic moment. It came quietly and built over time. Long before modern Romania even existed, Turkic nomads like the Peceneg and Cumans brought the first Muslim presence. Then, in the 13th century, settlers connected to Sultan Kaikos II and the mystic Sari Saltik put down roots in Dobruja. That early community became one of the very first spiritual homes for Islam in the region. And then the Ottomans came. Everything changed. For nearly 500 years, the Ottomans ruled Dobruja and tied it closely to the wider Islamic world. They brought settlers from Anatolia, built mosques, and supported Muslim life through the millet system, which organized people first by faith and then by ethnicity. That's why Romania still has some of the oldest and most beautiful Islamic monuments in the Balkans. The Esmahan Sultan Mosque in Mangalia, finished in 1575, is the oldest in the country. Nearby you'll find the Caroline Mosque in Constanța, the Hunchir Mosque, the Gatsi Ali Pasha Mosque in Babadag, the Abdul Mejid Mosque in Megidia, and the Azazai Mosque in Tulcea. Each one is still standing, still praying, still remembering. These buildings aren't just stone. They're memory you can walk inside. If one place holds the soul of Islam in Romania, it's Dobruja. This region has always been the center of Muslim life, education, and culture. Even today, most Romanian Muslims live here. It's long been known as a place where Christians and Muslims live side by side without erasing who they are. Scholars simply call it the Dobruja model, a quiet but powerful example of real coexistence. The community is officially represented by the Muftiate of the Muslim cult, based in Constanța. This institution looks after imams, mosques, cemeteries, religious schools, and daily community needs. Murat Yusuf has served as Mufti since 2005. The Romanian state helps too, paying clergy salaries and supporting historic mosques that are now protected as national monuments. In a small minority, that kind of structure isn't a luxury. It's how faith survives from one generation to the next. The road hasn't been easy. When Northern Dobruja joined the Kingdom of Romania in 1878, immigration and political changes slowly reduced the community. Then communism arrived and tightened the screws. The Muslim Theological Seminary closed in 1967 and religious life was pushed into the shadows. But the story didn't stop. After 1989, the community slowly came back to life. Mosques reopened, institutions returned, and the call to prayer could be heard again. Today, Islam in Romania is no longer only about heritage. It's becoming a living choice for new believers. Census data shows the number of ethnic Romanians identifying as Muslim is growing, especially among young adults and women. Many come through marriage or friendships. Others discover the faith through its clear monotheism and the discipline it brings to daily life. For some, it feels like an awakening. For others, a return. For all of them, it starts with one honest question, and that question changes everything. The mosques themselves tell the story best. The Caroline Mosque in Constanța is especially striking. Its design blends Islamic patterns with Romanian architectural touches, showing that Islam here isn't foreign, it's part of the country's fabric. In Bucharest, the picture is different. The community feels more urban, more diverse, more modern. Small mosques and cultural centers now serve immigrants, converts, and students. Faith has moved beyond the coastal villages and found its place in the capital too. Of course, not everything has been smooth. Plans for a larger mosque and cultural center in Bucharest recently sparked protests and revealed that Islamophobia still exists in some corners of society. Yet the deeper, longer story is still one of coexistence, not collapse. That tension is exactly what makes Romania's experience so interesting. A small Muslim community quietly holding its ground inside a deeply Orthodox nation. This isn't a tale of loud expansion. It's a story of quiet endurance. Islam arrived through migration, grew under Ottoman rule, survived political pressure, and now continues through heritage, conversion, and everyday community life. The recent rise in converts and the steady numbers in Dobruja prove one thing. The faith is still alive, still changing, and still deeply rooted here. In a world where many minority communities fade away, Romanian Muslims keep showing up. They pray, they teach, they rebuild, they remember. So the next time someone says Romania, don't just picture castles and churches. Picture Dobruja. Picture the old mosques of Mangalia and Constanța. Picture the Tatar and Turkish families who kept the faith alive through centuries of change. Picture the converts who found a new path. And picture a small Muslim community that has carried its soul intact for over 700 years. That's the hidden story of Islam in Romania. Thank you for watching. If this video meant something to you, please like, comment, and subscribe to Islam's Light. May peace be upon you. Assalamu alaykum.